Hola, it's Kai Pacho with the Weekly Paleo Report, and this one is for November 10th of 2021. I hope you're all doing well. I've made it back out here to California, and I have to show you this gorgeous, gorgeous valley. Right now, the moon is moving through Aquarius, conjunct with Saturn, in square exactly to a Mercury-Mars conjunction over there at 7 degrees of Scorpio. You can see it in the chart. So this is what I'm going to really be talking about today, very strongly. They are all at 7 degrees exactly, as you'll see a couple hours ago. And then things move on. Things move on by tomorrow. Mercury and then on Friday Mars is in conjunct Chiron over there in Aries. The Sun moves into a beautiful trine with Neptune by Friday and squares Jupiter by Sunday. So these are the main things that I want to be talking to you about today. And the moon does, cruise on through and will conjoin with Neptune in Pisces before she moves into Aries on Sunday. But yeah, we want to talk about some long-range changes that are going on for everyone reflected in these aspects. So let me look at the camera and talk to you some more. All right, everybody. How about these lemons, man? This is the lemon tree. Had to sit in front of the lemon tree for this one. Back here in California, my other daughter, I have one in North Carolina, I got two here in California, and my other daughter is having a baby in a few weeks. So Scorpio, the mysteries of life and death. Sun, Mars, Mercury moving through Scorpio. We really want to be talking about these powerful, powerful energies. There's so much to say that I'm going to try to weave so much into this because there's so much going on, and life is like it's popcorn. It's like we're making popcorn here, and not just this Mercury Mars exactly at 7 degrees squaring the Moon Saturn exactly at 7 degrees happened this morning, a few hours ago. Okay, but there's also Uranus. This is part of a T-square going on, okay? Mercury, Mars, the Sun was just there, opposite Uranus, square to Saturn. Very, very powerful. We have to understand this on very many different levels. I want to talk about the personal, the social, the economic, I mean, everything is really in flux right now. And of course, it's all reflected in the astrology of it. But let's see. First of all, let me make sure I get through everything, okay? How about that thumbnail? Did you see the thumbnail for this week's Paleo Report? That's done by Daisy Horsewill, who illustrated my whole poem, What is Love? If you've been following me for a while, it was almost like a year and a half ago. I wrote this poem, What is Love, about these two little guys that go around the zodiac and they ask each one of the signs, what is love? And they get a different answer with each one. At the end of today's video, I have Scorpio. So you have to see some of her artwork and see what Scorpio has to say about love. And we just sent off for samples for the book. And if those samples are going to be good, they're going to be available like in a couple of weeks. So I'm super excited about that. The other aspect of Scorpio that I wanted to bring up with you today is the Sabian symbol for the 8th degree of Scorpio, because it's very powerful and it brings me into the topics, some of the topics of what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about love. Love today. And Sun trine Neptune. Neptune is universal spiritual love. Venus, the lower octave of Neptune, moving, through Capricorn. She's going to be there for a long time. She's going retrograde in Capricorn. She's going to be there for, some months. And the water element of Scorpio is emotional connection and union. Scorpio being even sexual union and emotional and psychic. So we have this whole kind of alchemical transformation through union, symbolized by the sun moving through Scorpio. It's a very, very powerful time of transformation. That transformation isn't done by going out on the mountaintop by yourself. It's actually done through, moving deeply into your root chakra, your emotional realms. So let me read. Scorpio 8 degrees is a calm lake bathed in moonlight. The keynote is a quiet openness to higher inspiration. One could stress the romantic suggestions such an image evokes, but even at the level of a love relationship, what is implied is a surrender of two personal egos to the inspiration of transcendent feelings, which are essentially impersonal. Love expresses itself through the lovers. For real love, with a capital L, is a cosmic, undifferentiated principle or power which simply focuses itself within the souls of human beings who reflect its light. The same is true of the mystic's love for God. We strive hard to achieve great things through daring adventures. But a moment comes when all that really matters is to present a calm mind upon which a supernal light may be reflected. Powerful image, powerful thoughts, feelings, words. I really want to go into this feeling nature because Scorpio is these intense, deep feelings. And today's mantra is really looking at both sides of this coin of spirit and matter. And in some ways it can be love and fear, can be two opposite sides. But I really want to, go into this energy and even the song for this week. Okay? I've still got the blues. Right? By Gary Moore. Listen to the guitar solo. And after that, I'm going to put another link for another song, another guitar solo by him that is, it's beyond words. It evokes feelings. These feelings bring us to the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is what may be missing, may be lacking in so much of today's high-tech culture, society that is really being dominated so powerfully by these Aquarian energies of Jupiter and Saturn, both in the sign of Aquarius, Saturn squaring Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. And we understand this T-square. A T-square is balanced out by the missing leg. Yeah? Leo is the missing leg. We've got Uranus in Taurus, Saturn up here in Aquarius, Mars, Mercury over here in Scorpio, nothing over here in Leo, which is the heart space. And we're moving into a 2,000-year age of Aquarius. So what we have here is this is a very important turning point. We had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius about a year ago, yeah? And the last time that Saturn moved through Aquarius was through 1991. And 1991 was when the first internet browser was launched, making the internet available to the public, not just the government. This Saturn square Uranus is a technological revolution. And this is happening not only with cryptocurrency, but it's happening, and I will make this prediction. I hate to, in some ways, make this prediction, but I will say that it won't be very long before everyone is reduced to a QR code. The digital identification is coming. It's happening. It's going to be linking, and it's going to be necessary to be used for travel, for banking, for vaccination, for every other which way, shape, and form and thing. It's going to have your history. It's going to have everything. And it's going to be on your phone. And they're going to use facial recognition. So we've got facial recognition. We've got this QR code that we're going to be... There's this whole revolution. This is Saturn and Jupiter moving through Aquarius. This is Saturn in square to Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. Uranus moving through the sign of Taurus, which is banking, economics, okay, money, the flow of money. And here's where I want to balance this, okay, with this Scorpio energy of water. And how we may all get taken off or torn away from spirit, from love, from the heart source, by all of the technology, the transhumanism, the human 2.0 program, okay, the Neuralink, okay, that wants to hook us up. I mean, there's this whole movement away from what it means to be human. There are some atheists, and I have not researched, okay, all of the biographies of our multi-billionaire high-tech geeks out there, okay, but just look at, who's got the billions and billions and billions and billions, okay, It's high-tech companies, it's high-tech entrepreneurs, it's owners of high-tech firms and, space programs and, Google and Facebook and Amazon, and Microsoft. Everything high-tech is about economics and material gain, financial gain. Even when it gets into the genome and mRNA technology, infiltrating our very blood system, in some cases causing myocarditis, which is problems with the heart. And so astrology connects together these different aspects of things. I want to read to you today an email that I got this morning from John Bloom. He's the General Secretary of the Anthroposophical Society of America. I can't read you the whole email. I'm only going to read you 3 paragraphs. I hope it's not too much. But they just did a whole, in October, they did this, the reawakening of the heart. And this ties the heart into economics. Rudolf Steiner, the clairvoyant seer, that lived in the early 1900s and started the Anthroposophical Society. He was the founder of spiritual science. And we want to just understand and understand this connection between. He came up with what was called the threefold social order. That's not capitalism, it's not socialism, and it's not communism. It's a way of organizing societies and economics with the spiritual principles involved, without throwing out the soul and the spirit. Because so many of these high-tech people, that are really behind so much of our social programming right now and the mainstream narrative are removing soul and spirit and seeking immortality through merging humanity with artificial intelligence and robotics. And there may be a certain amount of immortality that can be gained, and maybe they can, hook up the brain and, remember, make memories and make da 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 da. But the soul and the spirit, the experience of being human, can only be a human experience. And this is what Scorpio wants to show us and wants to teach us. Robots will never be able to love and receive love. And this is, and we can go far astray from the highest destiny of our species, our potential, by going, on a trajectory that is off. Yeah. Here's what John Bloom has to say anyway. While economic life concerns itself primarily with the world of material matters, how we conduct ourselves in that world matters a lot. And economics divorced from human need, the value of relationships, and the earth as a living system is an economics vulnerable to the shadows of greed, abuse of power, and dehumanization. Witness the profound inequities of the current economy. The expression hard-hearted comes to mind. Such instincts would never normally occur to the human heart, as its constitution is one of service to the health of the whole human organism. Just about any hindrance to this service is associated with illness. And the heart is being considered as the foundation of human intelligence through scientific inquiry into that which has long been understood in intuitional streams of knowing. If we take the imagination of the heart further, we find that a key capacity of heart intelligence is recognition. The heart could not fulfill its purpose if it operated first and foremost out of judgment rather than recognition. First, it senses or recognizes a need and responds as best it can, and then judges or estimates whether that response was sufficient, and it adjusts accordingly. Imagine, if you would, an economy that operates on this same selfless principle. How different life might be if we just sensed where there was a need and we put our money towards that need, and then, judged, if we put enough money to that need, then we would back off and send the blood, the money, someplace else. Let's go on here for one more paragraph. What I am describing is a heart-centered economy, one motivated by continuous circulation, connection, and caring, and cognizant of each person's dignity and destiny. And most important, an economy in which the rediscovery of trust becomes the vital element supporting the circulation and regeneration of resources as common, co-produced wealth. The role of money is a topic of another time. But suffice it to say, as Rudolf Steiner did in his 1922 lectures on economics, money is like the blood in the circulatory system. Blood is the bearer of life processes, the currency of the heart. This is a lot. I could even like print it out in the newsletter, this week's newsletter. Maybe I'll ask John if I can print out the entire email that he sent, because these are some things to really meditate and think upon deeply. This idea, okay, of bringing together, and this is what today's mantra is about, right? Spirit and matter. Infusing one with the other, right? Life and death. Life serves death. Death serves life. Spirit serves matter. Matter serves spirit. These are like, it's two sides of the same coin. And we can't live one without the other. So we're going through this huge transition, this huge scientific, technological, the fourth industrial revolution that is, transforming. And by 2030, they want to see a whole new reset world order, and everything is going to be modified and changed. And we want to understand this modification, this change is not just economic. It's not just technological. It's not just financial. We have to see where we, as spiritual soul human beings, fit into, I don't even want to say fit into, but co-create this new reality, so that it is not exclusive of soul and spirit. And there's another quote I'll put another quote from Steiner, in the notes below this video. You click on show more, and there's notes. It's got the mantra, all the links that I talk about. There are still people who can't seem to find my notes and links. But there is a quote where he speaks of a particular that is to come in the future. He spoke this 100 years ago, but that in the future there would be actually an injection that would remove and stop, hinder people from spiritual sight and knowing. So we want to be very awake. We want to be very aware. And we want to be very human. And we also want to tap into and value our feelings and these emotions. Sometimes they're called negative feelings and emotions, with Scorpio, Pluto, the 8th house, jealousy, possessiveness, anger, revenge, fears. These, especially Mars is the planet of anger, and in square to this Saturn. Okay, this is just like our drive, our initiative, our desire. Okay, for revolutionary change and bringing our new insights into material manifestation may be blocked. So we need to find new ways of manifesting our spiritual soul calling in these days. So, this is a time where we can have a lot of these feelings of sorrow, grief, anger. Scorpio has to do with death, with endings of what once was. And so when it comes to relationships,
when it comes to love, when it comes to a way of life, what used to be normal. We have all experienced loss, some of life, of loved ones, many of a way of life, many of our relationships, our families breaking up, our friendships breaking up, our partnerships breaking up. So much has gone, as a result, of these last 2 years in this Saturn in square to Uranus, which will continue on through next year. We have to understand that part of the grieving process is anger, not denial, not being strong and not saying, oh, I'm not afraid, or, oh, that's just there can be a way, and I see it happening where it's like, oh, if you're afraid, you're weak, or you're, a victim of propaganda, or da-da-da-da. Fear is a natural expression of our humanity. Our fear of death keeps us alive. Okay? Our fear of starvation gets us to eat. Our fear that there is a place, just like spirit and matter, just like life and death, just like heads and tails on a coin, that's two sides of the coin. Love and fear. And love and fear, you want to really embrace both of these. And so when we experience loss, it is natural to experience grief. So listen to these guitar solos by Gary here, and feel your heart. It's the blues. I've still got the blues. Feel the blues. Allow yourself. Give yourself that human experience of, yes, I'm human. Yes, I lost. Yes, it hurts. Yes, there is pain. And that pain is part of life. And it allows me to experience love in its rainbow of colors even more fully, because I have been to the depths. So I encourage us not to just ignore or judge emotions, or these people that are afraid, or they're this, that, but really go into not only economics, but all of our lives with this open heart of recognition and recognizing the humanity of others. So yeah, the mantra for this week is spirit and matter are woven together, just like life and death. One I can touch, taste, smell, and see. The other is love, health, and breath. The intangible, the subtle, the invisible, soul spiritual world is as essential as this material, physical, tangible world. They go together. If we go deeply into materialism and ignore the spiritual aspects of ourselves, of nature, of humanity, our future will go forward in an unbalanced, unhealthy, unloving, destructive way. So it's up to us as individuals to lead by example. Yeah? We lead by example by keeping that heart space open and acknowledging the spiritual aspects and elements of life. Woo, baby. Yeah, Scorpio, man. It's intense, right? One more time. Spirit and matter are woven together, just like life and death. One I can touch, taste, smell, and see. The other is love, health, and breath. Namaste, aloha, so much love.
Okay, so the little guys go around the zodiac to Libra, and Libra says, but when it comes to love, there is more to say. To the starry Scorpion you must find your way. So off they went on their mighty quest, searching the east, south, north, and west, till they found the Scorpion, the same as his name, and with great humility they asked him again, what is love? The Scorpion slowly emerged from deep below, not showing himself but wanting to know just who it was that dared face death, and why they asked him to answer their quest. He finally spoke up as they stood trembling in fear, for his silence was threatening, his presence severe. Love is dying to the old, surrendering to that which you cannot control, to be transformed into something new, more powerful, more masterful, reborn, renewed. Love is the mystery behind birth and death. It can't be owned, misused, or possessed. For the proud shall be taken, the mighty will fall, yet those seeking truth will heed the call. All that exists, love will bring to an end, so that the cycle of life may begin again.